Thank you and good afternoon. The Royals get the win last night and try to grab a series split as they play 4 with the Mariners. The Royals are on pace to have the worst offense in the league, and the Royals continue to struggle as the worst offense in their history, and that doesn't come strongly because the Royals have had some bad teams. And we'll discuss more about that on Friday. Royals and Salvador Perez was a big deal last night as he had 4 hits and 4 RBIs. The Royals won 6-3. Lucas Erceg came out and got the 2 outs on a 3-0 pitcher that was hitting a double play. The Royals will get out of it for Erceg. Tonight, the Royals will play the Mariners again. The Royals will have Noah Cameron on the mound, who's having a great season but coming a little bit back to surface. Logan Gilbert will go for the Mariners. Royals try to grab the split tonight at 8:40. Cardinals losing last night 1-0, and Cardinals today lose 5-0. They have not scored a run in the last 2 games, in the last 2 days. The Cubs and the Guardians are on right now, bottom third, 3-0 Guardians. NFL, let's catch you up on that. Dolphins receive a trade in Jalen Ramsey and Joshua Smith. Dolphins get back Micah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers acquire cornerback Jalen Ramsey from the Dolphins and Joanna Smith. And the 7th round pick from the Dolphins for Micah Fitzpatrick in a 2027 5th round choice. Just a little bit trades for salaries and a little trades. There you go. And TJ Watt is in discussion for his contract. The Steelers would like to go back for 2021. He says they're fortunate to have TJ Watt. Darren Waller comes out of retirement and is being traded to the Miami Dolphins from the New York Giants. This is reported by Adam Schefter. Now let's go to mental health and TMS. TMS stands for Transmedical Stimulation. It is a non-invasive treatment, magnetic field stimulation, nerve cells, brain, particular areas involved in mood and regulation. What does it do? A primary treatment to depression, especially treatment depression, was when therapy does not work. Also reached anxiety, OCD, PTSD, and also schizoaffective disorder. How it works is a magnetic coil is placed near your scalp, usually over the parietal cortex. It sends a brief magnetic pulse to stimulate nerves, brain cells in that area. The stimulation helps rest or strengthen the brain circuits involved in the mood emotions. Key points: non-invasive, no surgery. Painless, some tapping scalp of mild headache, typically 5 days a week for 4 to 6 weeks. FDA approved, especially for major mood disorder. When would you like details on the brain structure and TMS sessions, like who qualifies for it? Why TMS is better than ECT? TMS is a transmedical stimulation is often better than ECT. Electric drives therapy patients, especially concerned with side effects and indecisive complete. Here is a comparison to TMS. Factor invasive, non-incisive, non-anesthetic anesthesia required. Invasia requires general anesthesia. Cognitive effects. TMS minimal, rarely causes memory problems. Recovery time, no downtime. Patients can return to work after sessions. Recovery needs for anesthesia may feel groggy and confused. Stigma preparations seen as a modern and safe, still stigmatized due to historical views. and dramatic portrayals. Stability, idea for mild and moderate treatment, resistant depression, usually used for severe or life-threatening depression. Magnetics uses pulse stimulate specific areas, uses electric currents to include a brief seizure. Daily for several weeks, around 4 to 6 weeks for TMS. What is TMS preferred for? Worried about memory loss. Those who don't want anesthesia and hospital visits. Patients who prefer outpatient and treatments, fewer side effects. Mild to moderate treatment, resistant depression. ECT might be better for severe life depression, psychotic depression, when rapid improvements is urgent, needed, e.g. suicidal behavior or refusal to eat. TMS is better for safety and side effects. ECT is stronger, riskier in more severe cases. Would you like to personalize your guidance? Might be better for specific systems depending on the conditions. Here's what I think. I think TMS is better simply because you don't have to lose lots of memory. I remember that for several people. What I can see is the psychosis can worsen at times. I have seen a lot of happen ECT, and it does not. And the idea of shock just scares me. Also, shocking sounds scary and non-invasive, and just magnetics sounds less scary and non-surgical and non-anesthesia. It's why it's a bonus. TMS versus ECT. That's Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report and Sam's Mental Health Day.
So it is definitely not the same as ECT because electroshock therapy or electroconvulsive therapy is something where we take people, put them under anesthesia, and deliver electricity to their head to cause a seizure. And that's been around since the 1930s or 1940s. And in the popular media and movies, it doesn't have such a great reputation.
Exactly.
But certainly psychiatrists will do the electroshock when it's appropriate. It's reserved for the most severe depression that's refractory. And it's nice that now we have another option, which is TMS, which is not a convulsive therapy, doesn't require being in the hospital. It doesn't have the side effects of ECT, which would be things like memory loss. So TMS is a treatment that has a lot fewer side effects than ECT.
So it doesn't require any anesthesia?
Correct. No anesthesia.
So you come in as an outpatient and you would do this 30 times, 20 to 30 times, 20 to 30 different days?
Yes.
Are there any side effects of this treatment?
So the main side effect is it is uncomfortable where the stimulation is at the head. So usually the magnet is put on the side of the head and this tapping. When it taps, I've had patients tell me it feels like a woodpecker is tapping against my head. Sometimes when, after about 1 week, patients usually say, oh, it's annoying, but I can tolerate it. Sometimes when it's tapping away, there might be some twitches around the eye or around the face, so that can be expected. But really the discomfort is the main side effect. There's no memory impairments with TMS, which is the biggest thing that people worry about with ECT.
Does it take 30 treatments before someone starts to notice a difference, or do they start to gradually feel something right away?
So in the official studies, when they looked at this, most of the studies wait about 6 weeks, which is 30 treatments, and the initial studies showed that at 4 weeks, people might start feeling better. Now, I've talked to some other psychiatrists who tell me that if a person's going to get better from TMS, they think that there's going to be an iota of improvement by the second week. And sometimes that's the case, but I've also had patients who don't feel any better until towards the 4th or 5th week of treatment, and it does require towards the end of treatment before people start feeling better.